Hello race fans and welcome to the first in a new series on Bombersports Gaming. It is the Bad Games Beatdown. Now, I'm suffering a bit with man flu at the moment, which is a bit of annoyance as you can tell, so kind of need something to vent against. What a coincidence! One of my least favourite games ever is here! Ready to me to take a massive dump on. This is NASCAR 14, as you probably guessed. The third in a lineage of games that started with NASCAR the Game 2011 and then continue with Inside Line. And then now we're here. There's going to be one more, a NASCAR 15 update, and then DMI Games going to take over for 2016. And by Christ, our 90% of NASCAR gaming fans, that day cannot come soon enough. And I'm going to explain why, because this game is fairly dreadful. I'm here at Daytona. Well, it's only fair. The Sprint Unlimited is coming up this weekend. So it's time to do our own Sprint Unlimited here. Okay, I'm going to start. Let's start with the good things. As we're underway here at Daytona, let's start with the good things. First off, listen to the sound. That's good sound, right? That sounds good. And graphically, as you can see, also very nice. Although the damage model is a bit, bit strange. It can be a bit sort of, it kind of looks like your car's made of wood or plastic when you get damaged, which is a bit strange, but never mind. Oh! What the hell? What even? So, yes, while I'm trying to be nice about this game, so graphics good, sound good. They've got the full-on Fox Sports commentary team in there. So you've got Jeff Hammond, Mike Joy, and Darrell Waltrip in there. No Larry McReynolds, presumably he just doesn't get these newfangled video game things. So, but they're all in there, which is very nice. So it's an authentic feel. As you can see, it looks good. They've also got that little radar thing at the bottom, which shows you where other cars are, which is quite useful considering the spotter bugs out and there's no one there. I mean, can you hear a spotter right now? No, I can't, and I'm going to go on to the bugs in a minute. That was nice. Thanks for that, Michael McDowell. That's really nice. Graphics, sound, presentation, good. After that, I'm kind of struggling for compliments, to be honest. And let's get into it, right? Because a few people have said, oh, you're being a bit harsh on this game. It's not that bad. It's not bad enough to warrant a Bad Games Beatdown. It is. And let me explain why. Firstly, the driving physics are pretty terrible. You can't really tell on a track like this because there's not really much turning. But especially on road courses, the cars handle awfully. I mean, I know we're talking about NASCAR stock cars here, which do not handle with anything resembling finesse or anything at all. But last week on Superstars V8 Racing, I was driving V8 saloon cars and could navigate them round the track. Here, on a road course, forget it. I can't do it. This game, right, is simcade. Let's make it very clear. This game is supposed to be simcade. Paul Menard's just spazzed out and slammed into the wall for no reason. This game is supposed to be simcade, which means it's not supposed to be simulation, not supposed to be entirely realistic, but it's not entirely arcade either. It's supposed to feel real, but not be real. Now, Superstars V8 Racing last week did that very well. Grid Autosport does that very well. The Codemasters F1 games generally do that fantastically well. This just feels like you're driving a blancmange. It feels like my steering wheel is connected to a blancmange. There's absolutely no feel. There's no sense of where the limits are. I just don't know what I can get away with. It's not helped by the fact that all the default setups in this game are... What even? It just completely spazzed out. I don't even know what happened there. You all saw that happen. I don't even. So let's look at the AI, shall we? The AI are dreadful in this game. They are so woeful. They make Gran Turismo's old biddy pensioner police look vibrant and amazing. Seriously, the AI in this game are drooling idiots and they make no sense. Much like the handling physics, it makes no sense. As you just saw there, I was right behind Kyle Larson, didn't touch him, I was drafting. Suddenly he starts spazzing left to right, swerves down, crashes, and before I even know what's going on, I've crashed. And I have no idea what happened. That is nothing like, that's not arcade, that's not simulation, that's nothing like what a real car would do. They just don't do that. It just had an epileptic fit. You don't have any confidence to race them in this game. I have no confidence in racing the AI in this game. As you can see, I'm fairly sure that the spotter has totally bugged out. I have not heard him say anything throughout this race. That's common, by the way. We'll get onto the bugs in a minute. Also, I'm fairly sure there was no noise. You may have to listen back to it because I didn't catch it at the time. Pretty sure there was no noise in the pits either. There was no sounds in the air guns or anything, so I'm pretty sure that's bugged out. Let's get onto that now, the bugs. The bugs in this game are utterly unacceptable. Utterly, utterly unacceptable. The physics will bug out. The sound will bug out. As you can tell, the sound is bugged out completely. Nothing there. Trying to play online in this game is an absolute disaster. You just can't do it. 90% of the time, the lobby will crash going into the game. Once you've got everyone in the lobby, you'll click go to game, and it will just hang and crash. When you get in there, the collision detection will bug out, which means I can be this far behind an opponent online, and they'll think I've hit them and spin out. That's how badly the collision detection f***s up at times. The timing and scoring will mess up and score people completely in the wrong position. Just, as I say, basic... Whoa! What on earth was he doing there? Basic issues. Basic things here. This is just poor bugs. Did no one QA test this? More to the point, did no one QA test this knowing that these bugs probably existed in the previous 2 games? Right, let's see if we can go for a spectacular finish. Finish! To the inside on the yellow line! Never mind. Right, now I'm going to briefly show you another thing that's not great about this game. Essentially, the NASCAR games were handled for the longest time by EA Sports. They handled the NASCAR games through the 90s and up through the 2000s, up till NASCAR 2009, where they had some licensing issues and then bailed out. There wasn't an official NASCAR game in 2010, and then we got these. So, in the previous EA Sports NASCAR games, you got up to 4 divisions of NASCAR. You didn't just get the Sprint Cup, you got the, what's now the Xfinity Series, you got the Truck Series, and in some games you got the Wheel and Modifieds, you got other things. I think you had late models in a few of them. You got a huge division, which meant the career mode was huge and vast and expansive. Here, you don't even get the full Sprint Cup field. I'm serious. You don't get the lacking paint schemes in this are pretty diabolical. And they think they can do this. They think they can sneak crap like this in. This is Ryan Reed, who apparently drives the 16 in Sprint Cup. Yeah, wait, I thought Greg Biffle drove it. Yeah, that's because they've just pasted a nationwide paint scheme onto a Sprint Cup Ford. Yep, this is rife throughout the game. Yeah, Darrell Wallace Jr. ran the 54 in Sprint Cup, didn't he? Yeah, no. Here you go, Junior Motorsports are a Sprint Cup team. There probably will be one day. I mean, we know Chase Elliott is now going to be in Sprint Cup with a car that basically looks like that, but even so, this is just kind of sad. I mean, we like the Codemasters F1 games not getting the entire F1 grid and padding out the game by using GP2 teams on F1 lookalike cars. It's just kind of lame. Let's pick Kyle Larson for this one, why not? This is another thing as well. Look, one paint scheme for him. Some drivers, here we go, I'll show you. Jamie McMurray got quite a good range of paint schemes. Most of his schemes from the year are represented. Kyle Larson? No. Nothing. And you may think, well, maybe they updated them throughout the year. Yes, they did, for paid DLC. Now, paid DLC I can accept, as long as it's not on release day, like Grid 2, they pulled that shit. Or if it actually adds content to a game. Like, if they did a DLC pack for the Nationwide series, put that in the game, that'd be great. For paint schemes? Are you shitting me? Let's go Bristol. Just because I'm hoping the AI will bug out. Yeah, I did a practice race just before I started recording at Bristol. And I swear to God this happened. I was in the middle of the pack. I got a bit loose. The car in front of me, the car behind me randomly ploughed me. I went up, hit the wall. My car came to a dead stop. And 15 cars behind me all ploughed into me. None of them made any attempt to slow down at all. They all ploughed into me. And I had Parker Kligerman's number 30 car fly over the top of my car. As in full-on takeoff. Literally, I must go. My people need me. That was it. Whee! I wish I'd recorded it for you. So, yeah, the AI are utter garbage. Which is pretty unacceptable considering we're dealing with what is supposed to be... I mean, this whole game is... Why this game really annoys me is that this is supposed to be the official license game for one of the biggest motorsport series on the planet. We're not expecting maybe on the same level as the F1 games, although they haven't been perfect, but generally they have been very good. And considering this game came out around the same time as F1 2013, probably the finest F1 console game ever, one of them certainly, you've at least got to be somewhere near that level, and just, if you're going to do it, just don't do it this shoddily. I would accept a game with worse graphics than this, and worse sound, for better handling. I would trade that in, and for less bugs, and for better AI. The AI in this game, they're the sort of AI where you just don't know what they're going to do. This is a game that makes Jimmy Johnson look like a drooling gibbon. Probably my favourite console NASCAR game up until now has been NASCAR 07 on the PS2. And that had a neat little system which followed on from NASCAR 06 Total Team Control, where you could switch into your teammates mid-race, kind of drive a San Francisco style and control different cars, which I thought was really neat, and that was a kind of varied up the formula quite nicely. And in 07, you had a sort of rival system where if you helped another guy out, like if you gave them a draft or a push and pushed them to the lead, they'd remember that, and you'd get sort of like karma points almost, and then later on in the race, they'd help you. They'd give you a draft or whatever. And conversely, if you punted them, nerfed them, spun them out, whatever, they would seek revenge on you. And when you tried to pass them, they'd hit you and try and spin you out and stuff. And that was really nice. That was good. And the AI in general was pretty intelligent in NASCAR 7. Not perfect, not at all. The physics were not perfect in that game, but they were a damn sight better than this. I mean, look at this. They're trying to go 3 wide Talladega style down the back straight at Bristol. They just have no give. The AI have no give. I think that's the problem. In real life, these guys would have reacted more subtly than that. They'd have gone, whoa, I'm not getting into that. Here, they just blunder straight into it, brainlessly. Like, if you slow up in the middle of a corner or someone checks up, their first response is not to slow down to avoid contact. They'll either just swerve left or plow, and it's completely unacceptable. It's just, and I think that is, in a nutshell, what I dislike so much about this game. This game, there's no excuse for it to be this kind of bad, really. The fact that now I'm comparing this game to a far superior game that was, in real time, now 2 console generations behind. I mean, it was 1 console generation behind this one, and is now upwards of 8 years old. It's just, there's no excuse for this. I mean, if EA could get the licenses for all the series and, you know, do stuff like put fantasy tracks in and have a full career mode and do little things where you could just run the chase for the Sprint Cup and not full season and tweak bits and bobs like that. And I think there was, you know, there was challenges and plates and stuff. Why can't this game? Why does this not have that? Why is none of that here? And why is the physics just so shonky? Like, this is the exact opposite of Superstars V8 Racing that I did last week. Superstars V8 Racing was simulating a series that is nowhere near as popular or significant as NASCAR. And yet, it is a far better game. Far, far better. And incidentally, I would probably use Superstars V8 Racing's physics over this. There we go. Look, I'm now turning. There's no feel. There's nothing. It just disappears mid-corner. So, how are you supposed to judge... Whoops. Okay, I'll admit that was my fault. Probably good that we brought out caution. Hopefully I'll be able to get in a big wreck and show off the derpy physics a bit more. Here we go. Listen. Nope, no sound. Nothing. Listen to those air guns. Listen to the Jackman. Listen to them all running round. I don't even think you can hear the engine. No, you can't even hear the engine. Oh, there you go. A little bit of engine there. And that's about it. And I've crashed into someone on pit road. Wasn't controlling that, by the way. I mean, if this was NASCAR The Game 2011, I would be a bit more forgiving for it. I'd be saying, well, okay, Technics, you know, their first NASCAR game, they have made good racing games before. They have. Le Mans 24 Hours for the PS1 came out in 2000. Really good game. God, look at this. They're going 3 wide. You remember what I said about them? You see what I mean about them treating every race like it's bloody Talladega? For God's sake, look at this. Look at this mess. This is just... Oh, goodness me. The lunatics have taken over the asylum. This is just derp central right here. Look at that group up there. And I've been hit, I've been sandwiched, I've been wrecked, and it's all gone horribly wrong, and they've kind of given me a caution, which is quite nice. Oh, let's see on the replay here. Let's see how badly the graphics bug out. Yeah, you can see... There you go. The time-ups go straight through my car. My car is now a ghost, apparently. It has now gone into the Twilight Zone. Le Mans 24 Hours in 2000 proved that Technics can make a good racing game. That game was good. It had some features that were beyond its time, that were ahead of its time. It did some things really well. It simulated a good series. The physics were good for its time. Very arcade, but very fun. That was a good game. So that proved Technics know what they're doing with racing games. But I have to question whether they know what they're doing with games anymore. Because I haven't played NASCAR The Game 2011, but either this is an improvement on that, in which case it was unspeakably awful, or they just haven't moved forward, which is unacceptable. And considering the only other thing of note that Technics have made lately is Ride to Hell Retribution, which I haven't played, but is widely considered to be one of the worst games of all time. Yeah. Why NASCAR entrusted this license to Technics for this long and didn't demand a bit more quality control, have no idea. Ah! As if by magic, we have sound! We have sound in the pits. They've turned the silencers off their air guns. It's a miracle. Look at this. And this is all quite nice, the animations in the pits. And we're down and away. We've not crashed into anyone out of the pits this time, which is good. Let's see, have they repaired the damage? Coming up for a green-white checker. Are we ready? Are we ready? Go, 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 go. They have fixed my damage. It's a miracle. Dirt factor off the scale. Look, they're already swerving up the track. They just have no clue. As I say, I know races at Bristol are intense, but whoa! They've all just stopped in front of me. You just have no clue what they're doing, which is pretty much how I can describe who made this game. They just have no clue what they were doing. They're 3 wide again. They're racing, look, they're racing it like it's Talladega. When it isn't, oh God, this is going to be carnage. I'm just going to join in now. Sod it. Oh, that's not gone well. Bane's trying to wreck me for 41st place, as you do. Up the inside. They're all clustering off the final corner. Look at this. Look at this. It's DERP Central here at Bristol. But yeah, this game, it's probably not the worst game ever, but it deserves a beatdown because it's lazy. It feels lazy to me. It feels inexcusably lazy. It feels shoddy and like just not enough care and attention has been put into this. It just feels like part of them have gone, well, you know what? We're making a game series of the biggest motor racing spectacle sport in the world. Or the second biggest, depending on who you speak to. People are going to buy this in droves. So, how much do you think we can get away with doing? How much do you think we can get away with doing before we clock off for lunch? Or to work more on Ride to Hell Retribution 2, which I'm sure will be an utter masterpiece. I mean, the EA NASCAR games had their problems. NASCAR 09, by wide consent, was not the greatest game ever. But this is just poor. I would rather play NASCAR 2000 for the PS1. Because believe it or not, the AI is probably better. It probably is. This is just poor. It is. It's just poor and there's no excuse for it. Must try harder. So that is why NASCAR 14 is the first game up on the Bad Games Beatdown. I'll see you next time, folks. Don't play this game. Just don't. Find a pre-owned PS2. You can probably get it for about 40 quid these days. Find NASCAR 07 pre-owned. You'll have way more fun. Honestly, you will. I'll see you soon.